for our third video for today, because we are having so much fun doing damper work, we are going to try to tackle, we've got an issue right here with these two dampers. One is leaning heavily towards the other direction, and as you can see, this one's also moving into its neighbor. So it's not going to dampen properly. If it does dampen, okay then, but still, this won't be good for a concert pianist if that's who we're trying to make happy. So we're going to start out by repairing this one first. So first thing I'm going to do is take this one out. I'm going to take this out physically, and then we're going to come over to our gauge here and look and see. If I line this up, you can see that this guy up here, this bend, is throwing off the rest of it. So I'm going to make this bend a little wider here. See if I can line this up here. We're pretty close. All right, now let's bring it back to the string. Try it here. All right, now we're pretty good, but I think the top part of this could use some correcting. So up here at the top. So we got the two bends right there. We're going to work on seeing if we can't correct those. So I think to correct these bends, what I like to use is this tool here and my block of wood. And I'm going to hold the damper head down like this, come in, and then I can bend like this to bring out the wire, and then hold it and push down and turn just slightly to correct this top bend. So then I will check it, see what we've got here. Need just a little bit more. I may even do this by hand. See if this lines up with the marks. And then we'll drop this back in. Put this back in. And it's pretty good. And I can also, if I have this tool available, which is the spring hook, or damper hook, I'm sorry, damper hook, then I can also come in from underneath, and when I do this, the direction of the bend opposite, I will support under the guide rail with my fingers to make the bending a little more sturdy. So I'm going to support with my finger on this side as I twist this over to try to correct my adjustment. And then I will put my weight on top, use my voicing block underneath.
I didn't quite see that, but there we do.
And then try tightening this up just a hair. And then seeing how this lifts up and down. If the front part of my damper lifts and it stays true to the string, but the back part moves to this direction, that's going to let me know that I made too big of a bend up here at the top. If my damper comes up, the front part stays good, but the back part fishtails in the direction towards the damper wire, then I know that my bend is too small. If it stays centered as it moves up and down, then I know that I have the correct bend. So that's why it's important to have a mirror so I can see the front and the back of the damper as it goes up and down. So already this one's looking a lot better than it was before. It's still a little leaning to this direction, in which case I'm going to try again with my damper hook and see if I can't come in and correct this ever so much more. When I'm making these bends up here with the damper hook, they have to be very minute bends. If they're going to be larger bends, then I need to take the damper wire back out and then bend it with this upright tool. So that is already looking a lot more consistent than it was before. It looks like this one has a slight lean to the right to it, in which case I think I can easily come in and correct that with my wire bending pliers. Just a slight bend. And there we have a lot better movement. Now the neighbor here is still wanting to move to the right. So I can see it leaning. I see it leaning in the reflection of the mirror. So what I'm going to also do with that one is try to make one bend. And I know the rule is, you make 2 bends for every wire. Sometimes one bend to correct how you do this is all that's needed. And be very fine with it. Don't try to squeeze it to death. Just very fine movements out of your wire bending pliers. And it does take practice and it does take time.
Are you doing the lower bend?
Uh-huh.
And how did you know to choose the lower bend, or do you always start with the lower bend?
The lower bend will show if it's going to the right or to the left. So the bend up or down, the top bend or the lower bend, is kind of indicative of which direction the damper head moves. Like as I lift this one up, it's pretty much moving straight up and down, pretty close to it, but the top of the damper is obviously at an odd angle. So I'm going to come in with this tool here. If I don't have this tool, again, I can take this out, use the tool that's normally used for upright dampers, and make this correction. But I have the tool, so come in, and I'm going to aim at the top of it, and I'm going to put my thumb on the right side of the wire because I'm bending to the left. I'm going to support that wire. Come back just a little bit, and there we go. And now it's moving straight up and down. And now we have correct dampers.